Pushback against Amber Heard's open letter. Here are some tweets about harassing Johnny Depp supporters in real life. Tug, that umbrella guy is a YouTube content creator, and he confirmed that CPS did visit his home after the phone calls that Amber Heard supporters made. That is not okay. Jennifer Howell had a suspicious break-in at her home. That is not okay. Rihanna was harassed by Amber Heard supporters. So were other celebrities and non-celebrities that talk about him fondly. Even a simple prayer or good wishes gets hijacked with abusive comments by Amber Heard supporters. That needs to stop. The extremely hateful and disturbing tweets that Amber Heard supporters shared are found at the tail end of the video so that they are easier to skip. One will be shared now for the sake of the discussion. Here is one of those tweets. Tweets like these show that we have a bigger problem than we imagined, if there are individuals that dismiss extreme acts of violence so easily. Furthermore, sending tweets like these are bound to start arguments on social media. While the media may refer to some tweets they consider harassing towards Amber Heard, that isn't the whole picture. It is more accurate to state that there is a discourse around discussions about the case, which is unnecessary since a trial has taken place, and Amber Heard was found liable for defamation.
Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million.
There is a speculation that Amber Heard herself tweets on Twitter under an assumed name. If the speculation is to be believed, there will only be peace on social media when she decides to stop, and tells her friends to stop harassing Johnny Depp and his supporters on social media. Johnny Depp supporters just want to see the defamation and abuse of him come to an end. This letter is disinformation. It implies that Amber was the victim of domestic violence, which is false, based on the evidence and the verdict. A 6-week trial has been conducted. Amber Heard was found to be liable unanimously by a jury of her peers. The 6-week 240 hours trial was televised. The public, including abuse survivors, mental health professionals, as well as lawyers, found Amber Heard to be liable for defamation and found her to be the abuser. In fact, the majority, if not all, of the lawyers and mental health specialists who create content on YouTube have stated their beliefs that Amber Heard was the abuser. The idea that self-chosen experts, who may not have watched the trial, are more knowledgeable than mental health specialists, medical professionals, as well as lawyers who did watch the trial and looked at the evidence is ridiculous. A poll was conducted on Twitter to investigate what percentage of Johnny Depp supporters were survivors. Here are the results. This next tweet is disinformation. The following tweets normalize intimate partner violence against men. The vast majority of Johnny Depp's fans are women, who support him not because they hate themselves, but because he was the victim of domestic violence and defamation. While many people do not want to believe all women simply because they are women, they believe victims who have proven to have been abused, regardless of gender. Public response was overwhelming to this claim of biphobia. Here are a few of the hundreds of comments on Twitter that denounced the use of biphobia as a reason why people dislike Amber Heard/Amber Heard's actions. A poll was run to see if biphobia played a role in how people feel about Amber Heard. 2 more tweets on the subject matter. The reach of media extends far beyond the reach of social media. This is significant, because Amber Heard did not ruin Johnny Depp's life without the help of defamatory media headlines. This is also significant, because any disinformation by the media can have real-life consequences like job loss, loss of child custody, and even attempted suicide to victims of defamation. I have personally had conversations with men who attempted suicide when they were defamed and lost everything. Johnny Depp has proven his case in front of the public and in a court of law. Plea to the media. It is time for the mainstream media to publish responsibly in order to prevent the infliction of unnecessary harm on victims. It is time for the individuals who have direct access to the mainstream media to respect the unanimous verdict of the jury, even if Amber Heard is your friend. In short, please print the truth about Johnny Depp. Stop victim blaming Johnny Depp. Stop calling Amber Heard the victim. It is expected that Amber Heard's loved ones would try to improve her image. It is expected that Amber Heard's public relations firm would work on improving her image by invalidating the trial with phrases like,
"The tide is turning. People are beginning to see the truth. Only the experts understand domestic violence, you don't. The experts believe Amber. Johnny Depp supporters are misogynistic, and they harass Amber Heard and other female survivors."
Our plea to the media is that it does not become a voluntary accomplice to the dissemination of propaganda disinformation. A trial took place and there is a unanimous verdict that the vast majority of the public agree with. That verdict allows a falsely accused man to regain his life and move forward. Why have over 100 individuals signed a letter full of disinformation? We may never know the true motive, but it is disappointing. What we do know is that male victims of domestic violence cannot feel supported by experts in their communities who write letters like that. A journalist recently claimed that being a survivor of abuse does not mean that you are an expert on abuse. I would like to push back a little on this tweet. First, being robbed once is not the same as being physically abused periodically in an intimate relationship by your romantic partner. A survivor may not know the definition of a theory, but their life experiences cannot be dismissed, nor can they themselves be dismissed as ignorant on the subject. Some people learn about human behavior and personalities in college, others learn about it from life experiences. When you have experienced being in relationships with enough narcissists,
stop being a baby.
Really? You call that a punch?
Calm down. It is all in your mind.
you start to understand their mode of operation. The survivors that I communicated with were triggered when they listened to Amber Heard speak to Johnny Depp in the audio tapes. They were triggered when they listened to her speak about him in the courtroom. Her own friend, a women's advocate, Amber Heard's former friend, Amanda de Codenay, is a women's advocate who supported Amber Heard at first and then dropped her support once the truth was revealed. She has also had at least one advocate speak against false accusations on her podcasts.
One of the things that enrages me more than anything is false accusations.
This week on VS Voices, we learn how to win at marriage and divorce from America's trailblazing divorce attorney, Laura Wasser. I'm Amanda de Cadenet, and this is VS Voices.
I shared a hospital room with a woman who saved her daughter from years of abuse because she, herself, had been a survivor. While she could not see it in her own relationships, she was able to see it in her daughter's relationship and helped her daughter to get out of it. Why are defamation lawsuits necessary for the falsely accused? A group of Johnny Depp supporters were asked if they believed Amber Heard when the allegations of domestic violence first came out. While some of them did not believe Amber Heard, some did. If Johnny Depp did not get an opportunity to tell his story and reveal the evidence, he would have lost these supporters forever. As more negative headlines get published, he would have continued to lose his reputation, all because of allegations that were not true. Here is an hypothetical future male victim named John Doe. He learned at an early age not to hit women. He does not hit women. He has an amazing personality. And he is loved by many. He will grow up to be a famous TV show host with millions of followers. He will meet a beautiful, charming woman called John Doe.
Hi, my name is John. Nice to meet you.
John Doe will fall in love with her for all the right reasons. Jane will be kind and nurturing. She will be friendly and will volunteer at various charities. John Doe and Jane Doe will get married after 2 years of dating, and have 3 beautiful children. However, a few years after they initially met, Jane Doe will start to inflict severe physical harm on John. When she will get angry, she will kick him, she will bite him, she will scratch him, she will pull his hair, she will punch him, she will slap him. When he tries to leave her, she will decide to ruin his life for leaving her. She will file a fake police report. She will apply for a temporary restraining order publicly. She will make sure that the media sees edited pictures as well as pictures of self-inflicted wounds. She will write multiple opinion pieces about the abuse that we know she never endured, and other publications will report on them. These false allegations will go viral. John Doe will lose his followers. John Doe's TV show will be boycotted. John Doe will be suspended at his job. John Doe will lose his job. John Doe will lose friends. John Doe will lose custody of his children. John is not even sure that all of his colleagues and friends believe him. Not because the allegations are true, but because she will seem kind, she will cry a lot, and she will look really sad. Some of their friends will not be able to envision why she or anyone would lie about being abused. When he would accuse her of being the perpetrator of domestic violence in the presence of others, she will respond saying,
"I could never hurt John."
His only option will be to sue for defamation to clear his name. He will have evidence to exonerate himself. However, he watched the 6 weeks Depp v. Heard trial and listened to Amber Heard admit to starting physical fights. Here are some excerpts.
It's always been my own testimony that I hit Johnny.
And the man you beat up numerous times. Right, Miss Heard?
I could never hurt Johnny.
And there's no injuries to your face in this picture, are there?
Not that this picture shows.
By the way, I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you.
You don't have any visible injuries to your face, do you?
None that you can see.
You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you started.
You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up,
You
Johnny.
started physical fights.
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did. So I had to get the fuck out of there.
Yes.
Ice will cover up swelling?
Ice reduces swelling. Normally the swelling after that kind of injury is not as bad as you might imagine, and for me, it wasn't that bad.
I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it.
You would agree that there are no bruises or visible marks on your back in this picture?
No, not that I could see.
The second one is what she reported to me, which is if he was going to leave her to de-escalate from the fight, she would strike him to keep him there. She would rather be in a fight than have him leave.
John Doe also saw severe injuries on Johnny Depp that he will later see on himself. He observed that after the trial, the media referred to Amber Heard as the victim sometimes explicitly.
Miss Heard is what we would call the imperfect victim.
Sometimes implicitly. He also saw the media publish a letter that says this. The open letter supporters had no problem continuing to defame him further in an amicus filed in support of Amber Heard's appeal. Knowing what he saw and heard in the trial, knowing that Amber Heard defamed Johnny Depp, the amici sounded more like this to him. He understands that this letter will cause doubt in the credibility of future defamation lawsuits, including his, if he files. He understands that this letter seeks to silence individuals who are wrongly accused of intimate partner violence and sexual violence. Will John Doe feel encouraged to file a lawsuit to get his life back? Does John Doe feel like he will be supported in his community? Of course not. The good news is that John Doe is currently 17 years old now, and his nightmare will not start for another 18 years, when he meets Jane Doe.
Hi, my name is John. Nice to meet you.
Hopefully, by then, experts and the media will have stopped silencing the wrongly accused. If you are like John Doe, there are organizations that will assist you. There are also organizations working to change the current policies on domestic violence so that it is fair for all. In the meantime, if you are victim of domestic violence and sexual violence, we encourage you to report the abuse to get protection and justice. In the meantime, if you are wrongly accused, we encourage you to fight legally to get justice and get your life back. Our legal system is available to provide justice for all.